On the morning of August 15, 2009 at 7 a.m., a man was walking his dog on the street in Buena Park, near Los Angeles. He casually wanted to throw away some trash from home into a roadside trash bin. When he opened the trash bin, a strange smell hit him. There was no other garbage in the bin, just a suitcase. From the seams of the suitcase, an unknown liquid was seeping out. He took out the suitcase and tried to open it, but the sight before him scared him so much that he sat down on the ground.
There's a big suitcase, so I took my middle finger and I just lifted it up. And sure enough, it looks like a body. It's for sure a body. Yeah.
Inside the suitcase was the naked body of a woman, curled up in a bizarre position. The body was severely damaged with some parts missing. Her teeth had all been knocked out, and her fingers had been cut off at the roots. It seemed like the killer was desperately trying to conceal the victim's identity, making it impossible for the police and the public to identify her. After the forensic autopsy, the victim was determined to have been strangled to death. But how to confirm her identity? In the initial testing phase, no matter what methods the forensics used, including tissue analysis and DNA testing, they couldn't identify this woman. Who exactly was she? Identifying the victim. When the police were at a dead end, a forensic examiner discovered that the victim had breast implants. This discovery brought a major breakthrough to the case's progress, because the implants have serial numbers, and these serial numbers are unique. Through the serial number, they could find the company that manufactured the implants. From the manufacturing company, they could track the implants' whereabouts, including the doctor who used them, and most importantly, the patient who received them. In this way, the police followed the trail. 2 days after the unidentified body was found, the police determined that the victim was a locally somewhat famous model, 28-year-old Jasmine Fiore. What exactly had Jasmine Fiore gone through to be murdered so cruelly? We have to start from Jasmine's childhood. Jasmine Fiore's childhood and career. Jasmine Fiore's real name was Jasmine Lepore, born in 1981 in Bonnie Doon, Santa Cruz, California, USA. At the age of 8, Jasmine's parents divorced. Jasmine lived with her mother. Her mother, Lisa Lepore, was beautiful and generous. Jasmine inherited her mother's beauty and was very popular from a young age. Little Jasmine's dream was to become a woman like Marilyn Monroe, a high society lady in America with countless admirers, living a glamorous life adored by others. Gradually, as she grew older, Jasmine's appearance and figure became more and more outstanding. She began to be noticed by modeling agencies and often received invitations to model. Jasmine, of course, happily accepted, because if she did well as a model, it would not only bring her prestigious status and substantial wealth, but also the chance to become a woman like Monroe. Jasmine's first modeling job was as a swimsuit model. The job mainly involved wearing various bikinis, shooting photo books, and then publishing them in various magazines. Gradually, she started shooting ads, gaining some fame and exposure. Her second job was as a body paint model, but body paint modeling required her to be completely nude, with her body painted, appearing in casinos and other places to entertain wealthy gamblers. At first, Jasmine was quite resistant, but later she convinced herself that to become famous, she had to do it. Gradually, She got used to this type of work and even started promoting adult hotlines, shooting promotional photos and videos for adult websites to attract customers. As her modeling work continued, thanks to her outstanding looks and figure, Jasmine began to gain some fame in the industry. She gradually became the celebrity she had always wanted to be. She realized she might need a stage name. So, she changed her name to Jasmine Fiore. It's unclear if this name brought her luck, but from then on, Jasmine's career flourished rapidly. Gradually, she truly entered America's high society circles. She started dating some celebrities, attending various wine parties and pool parties in Los Angeles's Ritchie districts, living the life she had dreamed of. At this time, Jasmine could say her satisfaction and confidence reached the peak of her life. Successful life and searching for love. 10 years passed in the blink of an eye, and Jasmine lived a dream-like decade in Los Angeles' wealthy area, thriving like a fish in water. She had fame and fortune, but she knew she couldn't be an adult model forever to support herself. So she opened a gym, as she had loved various sports since childhood. Opening a gym was also a long-held wish. At the same time, she began looking for a suitable husband who could match her luxurious needs. In fact, over these 10 years, countless men had fallen at Jasmine's feet. They thought Jasmine was a rare beauty in high society. Her personality was very outgoing, with endless topics to talk about with anyone. Every man felt like he and Jasmine were a match made in heaven, regretting not meeting sooner. Little did they know it was just Jasmine's high emotional intelligence accommodating them. Although Jasmine dated them, it was just for fun. Only one person truly entered her heart, and his name was Robert Hasman. Jasmine saw him as her true soulmate. The two dated for many years, with countless arguments and breakups in between, but they always reconciled in the end. Jasmine told friends several times that she felt Robert was her final destination. However, after one intense argument, they broke up, and this time neither looked back. Later, Jasmine dated a few more men, but they all ended without result. Meeting Ryan Jenkins. On the evening of March 16, 2009, Jasmine was having fun alone at a casino in Las Vegas. She met Ryan Jenkins, a real estate investor from Canada. At that time, Jasmine was 28 and Ryan was 32. The two could be said to have hit it off immediately. Their feelings escalated like a tornado. Within 48 hours of meeting, the two didn't leave each other's side. On the third day of knowing each other, they headed straight to a chapel in Las Vegas and completed their wedding. This relationship was crazy and incredibly romantic. Ryan had all the qualities Jasmine wanted: humorous and witty, handsome appearance, defined muscles, and most importantly, immense wealth. Interestingly, the day before Ryan met Jasmine, he had just finished recording a reality show called Megan Wants a Millionaire. The show's content was to select a millionaire boyfriend for a woman named Megan. Nearly 20 millionaires from various industries participated in the show. In the reality show, they tried to win Megan's favor in their own ways and ultimately become the winner, getting the chance to date her. Ryan was one of the 20 contestants and survived until the final round before being eliminated. After the competition, Megan's evaluation of Ryan was that he had a very strong desire to marry. Because Ryan was Canadian, he came to the US for business and achieved great success, so he really wanted to stay in the US. But getting a US green card wasn't easy. Even though Ryan had built a small-scale business empire, relying solely on investment wouldn't get him legal status in the short term. So the fastest shortcut was to marry a local American woman. That way he could quickly get a green card and legally reside permanently in the US. So we can see that Ryan was a typical businessman. The most important thing for him in marriage was to get the green card. Originally, he wanted to marry quickly through the reality show to get the green card, but he was eliminated in the end. Right after, Ryan met Jasmine, and the two were passionately in love. Jasmine was a genuine American girl, making her Ryan's best marriage candidate, and Ryan perfectly met Jasmine's requirements. So they quickly announced the relationship in the local wealthy circles. From then on, they appeared as husband and wife at various formal occasions. Ryan also hosted various large and small parties for Jasmine, inviting celebrities from all walks of life to support them. In outsiders' eyes, they were a super couple, a model husband and wife. Friends even joked that at parties, they were always holding hands, never letting go. Conflicts in marriage. But this hand-holding that everyone envied was actually torture for Jasmine, because it wasn't entirely due to their love. It was Ryan's jealousy at work. As we mentioned earlier, Jasmine's work had always been shooting various sexy photos for magazines. The potential customers for these magazines were undoubtedly men attracted by Jasmine's beauty. This kind of work gradually became unacceptable to Ryan. And whenever they attended social events, Jasmine always attracted the attention of all the men in the room. They would always find opportunities to approach Jasmine and make various intimate gestures. This made Ryan furious. At the same time, Ryan didn't have many friends in the US. Before, apart from recording the reality show, he had almost no social activities. After meeting Jasmine, almost all his socializing was with Jasmine. His friends were also met through Jasmine. But Jasmine often went out to have fun with her friends, girlfriends, or colleagues. At those times, Ryan was left alone at home, feeling very lost. What Ryan couldn't accept the most was that Jasmine frequently kept in touch with her multiple ex-boyfriends and even went out alone with them. Even at parties they attended together, Jasmine would still be intimate with other men. Once at a pool party, Jasmine was getting cozy with a man named David by the pool, and Ryan caught them red-handed. You can imagine Ryan going into a frenzy. He grabbed Jasmine's neck, roaring, and pushed her into the pool. Jasmine quickly accused Ryan of domestic violence, which brought him at least a 1-year suspended sentence. This incident was the real beginning of their relationship's breakdown. Jasmine started frequently going out with other men and began endlessly deceiving Ryan. Even if there was only one man in a group of friends, she would hide it from Ryan, saying it was all girls. Moreover, she moved out of their apartment in Las Vegas and went to live in an apartment in Los Angeles. Jasmine's friends said she was very satisfied with this free life and really enjoyed the feeling of Ryan always chasing after her and not being able to leave. On Ryan's side, he was fed up with being in this jealous state for so long. He also wanted Jasmine to taste this jealousy and pain. He started cheating repeatedly, bringing different women home. One day, knowing Jasmine was about to come home, he brought his lover to Jasmine's apartment for intimacy, and Jasmine caught them in the act. Jasmine finally couldn't take it anymore and proposed divorce to Ryan. Efforts to salvage and reality show. This threw Ryan into panic. He knew very well that in the US, he needed a legal wife, whether it was Jasmine or another woman. He needed a wife to maintain his legal status and residency rights. So Ryan approached Megan Hauserman, the one from the reality show he participated in. After all, he made it to the finals, showing he had some appeal to Megan. Ryan thought maybe Megan would be willing to marry him. However, after just 6 months, Ryan's condition shocked Megan. The man in front of her had lost a lot of weight, his face pale, listless, nothing like the spirited young millionaire from the reality show recording. Megan rejected him without hesitation. And Ryan quickly accepted it because he couldn't deny that he still madly loved Jasmine, but the feeling Jasmine gave him was that he was dispensable. He felt he needed more money to buy back Jasmine's heart. He decided to record a reality show called I Love Money 3. The show's content was for a group of low-tier celebrities like them to compete for a large prize. Ryan's plan was to win the prize and then give the money to Jasmine to make her change her mind. You might find it strange. Isn't Ryan a wealthy businessman? Why does he need to participate in a reality show to get money to win Jasmine's heart? It turns out that after initially hosting various parties for Jasmine, Ryan also promised to give Jasmine $10,000 a month in pocket money. But this promise was never fulfilled. Ryan always used the excuse that his deposits were in Canadian banks and couldn't be converted to dollars. This is quite suspicious. Is Ryan really a millionaire? Does he really have money? But if he didn't have money, how could he host all those luxurious parties? Actually, Jasmine was also puzzled and even angry. Because Ryan generously hosted so many luxurious parties, but never gave her a penny, this made her feel Ryan was a hypocritical person. Now, Ryan was going to participate in the reality show to win the prize and buy back his wife's heart. Jasmine's attitude to this was, go ahead, winning the prize wouldn't be bad. She also wanted to see Ryan actually do something for her. So, in 2009, Ryan went to Mexico to record this reality show. In the show, he indeed showed superior intelligence and reaction skills. He succeeded in almost every challenge, winning overwhelmingly, and he brought the prize back to Jasmine. At this time, the reality show he recorded with Megan was also starting airing on various video platforms. His wit in the show made him famous overnight. Audiences nationwide recognized this millionaire from Canada. For a time, Ryan became a national internet celebrity. Even going out every day, he would be recognized by people on the street. Her husband's fame also brought Jasmine immense satisfaction. The couple's relationship returned to their previous inseparable state, even stronger than before. They began attending grand occasions more frequently with intimate gestures. In friends' eyes, the two seemed to have returned to their earlier state of never leaving each other's side. The fateful night. On August 13, 2009, Jasmine and Ryan attended a charity poker tournament in San Diego, USA, as celebrity guests. Their original plan was, after the competition, to host a party with other guests and then return to the hotel to enjoy their private time. Then, 2 days later, something strange happened. Ryan started constantly texting Jasmine's friends, asking if they'd seen her. He claimed he drank too much the night before. Jasmine drove him back to the hotel, and then she went out alone. He guessed Jasmine was pretending to be missing to annoy him. If friends or family knew her whereabouts, to let him know. But no one had seen Jasmine after that. Had something happened to her? So Ryan reported it to the local police. However, on the same day, a few miles away in Buena Park near Los Angeles, the man walking his dog discovered the unidentified female body in the trash bin, which is the scene we mentioned at the beginning. Investigation and discoveries. The news of Jasmine's murder was undoubtedly a bombshell that spread in Los Angeles celebrity circles. At this time, Ryan, who should have been distraught over his wife's disappearance, was completely unreachable and not at home. On the morning they confirmed Jasmine's murder, the police called Ryan, asking him to come to the station for routine questioning. But Ryan refused without hesitation. He said his visa was about to expire, and he had to return to Canada immediately. This is very suspicious. Who would only care about their visa after their wife was murdered? The police immediately determined the killer was Ryan. They quickly sealed the US-Canada border and locked down every property of the Jenkins family. Because the Jenkins family was very wealthy, they had many residences in the US. Ryan could be hiding in any one of them. 3 days passed and the police didn't find Ryan. He neither crossed the US border nor appeared in any residence under his name. And more clues were being dug up bit by bit. The police found the white Mercedes she usually drove in the woods a mile from Jasmine's Los Angeles apartment. Inside were lots of leftover evidence, including Jasmine's blood and hair. Clearly, the killer's violence against Jasmine had started from this car. A letter was also found in the car, written by Ryan to Jasmine. The general meaning was that Ryan realized something was wrong with their relationship and sincerely apologized to Jasmine. Although it was an apology, the lines were full of anger. Based on eyewitness descriptions and the evidence they had, the police pieced together a complete timeline of the case. On August 13th, the couple attended the party together. Ryan also planned to deliver this apology letter after the party, hoping to reconcile. But it's very likely Jasmine didn't accept it, leading to a conflict and Ryan developing murderous intent. From the surveillance at the San Diego hotel they stayed in, we can see at 2:30 a.m. Ryan and Jasmine left the room together, seemingly changed clothes, preparing to go to the party. However, 2 hours later, Ryan returned alone. When Ryan appeared the second time, he was holding the room's landline phone. His behavior was quite bizarre. This time, he went to the end of the hallway to get some ice, then immediately returned to his room. Throughout, he held the room phone. But Jasmine never appeared in the hotel surveillance again. The police judged that the couple probably had a conflict on the way back. Ryan also hit Jasmine, injuring her severely. At that time, Jasmine wasn't dead yet, because Jasmine's blood was also found at the hotel's back door. Ryan probably wanted to bring Jasmine back to the room from the back door because appearing in the hotel lobby with a severely injured wife was obviously inappropriate. However, the back door had no camera, but at that time the back door was locked. So Ryan ran from the lobby down the hallway. The police speculated that at that time he was going to open the back door from the inside, then carry his dying wife into the room. So why did he later leave the room to get ice? Criminal psychologists speculated based on Ryan's personality, he likely realized he committed an unforgivable mistake. Before sending his wife to the hospital, he needed to get her forgiveness. So he probably wanted to use this action to express his apology, using ice to alleviate his wife's pain. As for why he kept holding the room landline phone, it was to prevent Jasmine from calling the police or friends. Ryan probably kept begging for his wife's forgiveness, hoping she would help cover up his crime. However, given Jasmine's personality, she probably refused without hesitation. She insisted on calling the police. This let Ryan know he might have to kill her to cover up his crime. So he cruelly strangled her and began disposing of the body and the scene. This also explains why Jasmine was already dying at 5 a.m., but the estimated time of death was around 9:30 a.m. The tragic end of Ryan Jenkins. 5 days after discovering the body, the police still couldn't find Ryan. But in this case, the police exceptionally charged Ryan with first-degree murder before arresting the suspect. Because the existing evidence was sufficient to prove he was the only killer. On August 19, A witness claimed to have seen someone resembling Ryan driving a BMW SUV with a small boat attached. U.S. Border and Bay Police quickly sealed the coastline. However, when they arrived, only an empty BMW SUV and the boat's tow rope remained at the scene. The police estimated Ryan crossed the border by boat sometime from that night to the next morning, returning to Canada. 4 days later, on the morning of August 23 at 11:30, in British Columbia, the westernmost province of Canada, the owner of a motel, while checking room 2, which should have been checked out, discovered a male body hanging in suicide in the room. After identification, this man was Ryan Jenkins. It turns out, according to the owner's recollection, on the afternoon Ryan sneaked back to the Canadian border, he arrived at this motel with a quite attractive blonde woman. The woman paid for 3 days' room in advance for Ryan and then left. The woman was later confirmed to be Ryan's sister, Elena Jenkins. Since Elena only paid for 3 days, on the 3rd day's noon, the owner saw Ryan hadn't checked out yet and went to check. He knocked on the door several times with no response. The owner looked closely and found the door wasn't locked. He pushed the door open and discovered Ryan's body. In the room, no personal items or messages were left, only a letter marked as the final will. The will stated how much he loved Jasmine and how Jasmine drove him into jealousy and madness, but he didn't mention a word about Jasmine's murder. Reasons and the truth behind. So why did Ryan kill Jasmine that night? After all, to outsiders, since Ryan won the big prize, the two had reconciled and were inseparable. The police discovered from Jasmine's phone call records and text messages that on that night, Jasmine had been texting her ex-boyfriend Robert Hassman, the one she thought would be her final destination. From the text content, Jasmine was very scared that night. She begged Robert to quickly send a private plane to pick her up. She didn't want to be with Ryan anymore. The police guessed these texts stimulated Ryan, ultimately leading him to kill Jasmine. And Ryan was not a millionaire at all. On the reality show, he said his net worth was $2.5 million, but it was all fake. He had no money at all. And the money for those initial parties for Jasmine was all from his parents. Later, the money ran out, and his parents stopped giving him more. He himself had no job, no income. Perhaps this also made Ryan very insecure when with Jasmine, because Jasmine's previous boyfriends were all very rich. Ryan probably felt, compared to them, he was truly inferior. Conclusion and lessons. The story ends here. This incident is very much like a dramatic Hollywood romance soap opera ending in tragedy. The love-hate between this female model and rich kid is mixed with various greed, jealousy, and obsession, making people reflect deeply. I also want to say that Ryan participated in 2 reality shows, became famous overnight, yet no one doubted his millionaire identity. Only after he killed Jasmine did Megan from the reality show remember that Ryan indeed had some scary aspects. For example, he would privately text Megan saying he couldn't live without her, loving her passionately, but actually at that time, they had only known each other for 3 days. This also reminds me of some TV shows, especially dating programs, where murderers on the run appeared as guests and even successfully held hands. Some even killed the person they held hands with after success. I want to remind everyone that people generally have a trust filter for those who have been on TV shows. People think, this person passed the program screening to be on the show, so they should be more trustworthy than average. But actually, when selecting guests for TV shows, they don't do psychological evaluations or detailed background checks. Most of it is seeing if the person has hooks that can boost the show's ratings. So for this type of show, just watch for entertainment. Finally, about today's story, what do you want to say? Welcome to comment and discuss. If you like this video, welcome to subscribe to my channel. I'll bring you more exciting stories. Finally, please everyone stay vigilant, stay safe. See you next time.